in lockdown protests and assemblies. And all I'll say is, if they can do it to Glenn Miller, they can do it to any of us. So I'd like to think we'll stand in solidarity with Glenn if his back is against the wall, guys. All right. Our final speaker today. Now this is another woman who just blows my mind with the work they do. It's incredible, and I think we appreciate it, but we don't. Like, a lot of the work goes on in the background, and every weekend she seems to be a speaker everywhere. Yeah, I think there's three of them actually. I think she's triplets. But I'm going to just. She's a community activist. She's a mother of two. She's the founder of the Natural Women's Council, professional life and business coach, NLP practitioner, the one and only Jana London.
Make sure that's the right height. Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming today to stand for the women in this country. In case you can't hear my accent, I'm not born an Irish woman, but I've been here 21 years and I call this my home, and my kids were born here. Nearly 9 years ago was the best day of my life. I became a mother. I gave birth to my first child, a beautiful baby girl with the deepest blue eyes that I've ever seen, just next door at the Rotunda Hospital. 5 years ago was another significant day for me. Just 2 years after my late great father passed, I gave birth to a very robust lad who has the same sparkling green eyes, tenacity, and zest for life as his grandfather. And I'm blessed beyond words that I have these two amazing children call me Mummy. I have unapologetically made the decision to stay at home full-time with my children since the day they moved from my womb to this world. I have never been forced to stay at home. I have never been strapped to the kitchen sink. I enjoyed a very successful career for 20 years, which is what brought me to this beautiful country. And I've always had access to opportunities. I've always been empowered to make my own decisions. I don't think our two female presidents were denied opportunities as women and mothers either. Our Constitution recognizes mothers under Article 41.2.1 that by her life within the home, woman gives to the state a support without which the common good cannot be achieved. I couldn't agree with this more. A mother's enduring love, influencing our children's lives, and growing good, strong roots. Is there really any more contribution in society that is more significant than the role of a mother? Article 41.2.2 states that the state shall therefore endeavor to ensure that mothers shall not be obliged by economic necessity to engage in labor to the neglect of their duties in the home. The corrupt political establishment and their agents lied from the get-go about this referendum. De Valera was inspired by a U.S. feminist named Ivy Pinchbeck to insert Clause 41.2 into our Constitution so that working-class mothers would not be forced into factory work because of economic necessity. Ivy Pinchbeck wrote about the conditions of work in factories for young mothers and how some were even forced to leave their children alone at home while they went to work for pittance money. Caring for children at home and not working was considered the premise of the wealthy. De Valera drafted Article 41.2 with working class mothers in mind to protect them from attack. However, they are trying to make women feel that it is offensive, misogynist, and outdated to be a mother caring for her children at home. De Valera had it right. A mother should be protected from economic attack so they can fulfill their fundamental role in caring for children. It could be argued that this article that they intend to delete laid the foundation for a mother's right to Social Security and work-related protection, including maternity payments, child benefits, and home caring pension contributions. By deleting this article, the state will no longer have a duty, as enshrined in our Constitution, to provide financial support and protection to mothers like myself who have chosen to care for my children in the home. William Ross Wallace wrote a poem, "For the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world." It's about the significance of women shaping society, equating our nurturing role to the power that governs the world. Perhaps this is why our government want to delete us and the divine femininity. My question is this: will mothers in Ireland wake up on Mother's Day 2024, the 10th of March, to the breaking news that the yes vote won and the word mother has been erased from the Constitution? Why would we do this? Why would we vote for this? Why is the government and the so-called opposition pushing this? We should be pressing for further legislation under this article, not its removal. The vast majority of mothers would prefer to stay at home with their babies and children. So is it progressive, as they say, to delete the constitutional article that supports this? No, it's regressive. Is it a joke that the government proposed to remove the mention of woman and mother from Article 41.2 of the Irish Constitution on International Women's Day? Is this April Fool's Day come early? Why would we agree to this? Our sex is being erased. No mothers, but rather birthing people. No breastfeeding, but rather chest feeding. The HSE is already stating that people with a cervix should go for their annual screening. So I'm looking around now and I ask all of you men to book that appointment in with your GP for your cervical screening and see if they can find it. True.
Can't get an appointment.
This government also tried to erase women from the maternity legislation in 2022, and that's when we founded the Natural Women's Council on 7/7/22, lobbying against the erasure of women from the maternity legislation, and here they are again trying to do the same thing. Erasing women may erase the biological sex-based rights that our women and our girls have. Does this mean that our daughters must play sports against men who claim to be a woman with a penis? Our daughters are being taught in school that girls can become boys. This nonsense must stop. We must not allow our biological sex-based rights, our freedoms, our choices, which are enshrined in the Constitution, to be ripped up before our eyes. Sophia Loren wrote, "When you are a mother, you are never really alone in your thoughts. A mother always has to think twice, once for herself and once for her child." So let's think twice here as we cast our vote next week. It's critical that we all vote no and no for all the women, the mothers, and the families here in Ireland. Thank you very much.
Well done, Jana.
And the last thing I'll say is I just, for anyone on social media, on our YouTube channel, the Natural Women's Council, I just exposed a very, very long email thread questioning why Minister Dara O'Brien is not enacting his powers to the Electoral Commission to stop misinformation. There's dozens of letters. It's a 7-minute clip, and you can see, and I'm on to Dara O'Brien, he could stop misinformation being said. All he has to do is enact those powers, but he's not doing his job, and therefore the misinformation is allowed to be spread using your public funds.
Well done. Guys, big round of applause for all our speakers today, please. We're nearly there. The only woman I want to erase is Mary Lou. Yeah! Because when we all vote no, she's going to try and another referendum? No. Mary Lou, no means no. No means no. No means no.
No means no.
And this June, guys, the European elections and the local elections are happening. And there's some people that I trust running. And the people in June that are going to run and try and out those sinister ministers in the Dáil are people like Gavin Pepper.
Yes!
Ferg Power.
Yes!
Michael Burke. Derek Bly.
Yes!
Ben Gilroy.
Yes!
Myself, Jeff Gallagher.
Yes!
And Malachy. Oh, no, we're saving the best of last. Before we call Malachy up to close our little gathering, we all know how important it is that we get Malachy Stenson voted and into as a MEP, because I believe the man can make change. So before I call on Malachy up, we have Ferg is going to say a few words, and then we'll finish with Malachy, okay? So just a couple of more moments, guys.